we are going to continue with our third chapter, right? In the previous lecture, we have completed the various types of bank accounts that has been offered by the bank, right? That is savings account, current account, recurring account, and the fixed term or fixed deposit account. Okay. Now, what are the services other than this? That is, that other than that, accepting deposits. What are the other services that has been provided by the bank? In that, first, to issue a draft, that is demand draft. See, these things that we have already learned into the particular subsidiary functions of the bank. Okay, draft means it is a one kind of a check that is written by a bank addressing to the another branch. That is like that I have given you example, like if I want to do the payment, right, of any of the that I have done a purchase, right? Like suppose I have purchased some spare parts from the other city like Surat, right? I'm staying in Navsari. I will be paying those money with the help of draft. Okay, right? Like suppose my bank account is with the bank of ICICI near Lunsicui, right? So I will be going into the bank. I will be asking the bank to issue me the demand draft. Now, how the process of demand draft that will be done or that will be implemented? That is the name of the particular person to whom I am going to do the payment, right? That will be mentioned. Okay. Now, the bank, they are going to what? They are going to transfer the money on behalf of whom? On behalf of me, to the third party, to the other person. Like XYZ person is there in Surat, right? I'm going into the bank. A bank will be what? Bank will be mentioning the name like the person XYZ on the particular check that is called as a demand draft. Okay, right? And when the person is going to send money to the other person, bank, they are going to pay money, right? So what is the thing that bank they are going to get from it? Bank are going to charge the commission for issuing the demand draft, right? And that is the income of the bank. It is a nominal amount that depending upon the thing, like if I want to do 50,000, then around 120 or 150 rupees will be the commission. If it is more than that, then it will be, that depends on the amount of money that has been transferred from the one branch to the another branch of the same bank. Okay, right? And the sender is going to request the bank to that receiver is going to receive the money, so the name of the receiver that will be mentioned, right? Another thing is that yes, the bank that is going to what? That is going to remain same. Branch will be different. Okay, right? Like ICICI Bank Lunsicui, they are going to do the payment to the ICICI Bank of Surat, that is say for a Piplod. Okay, right? Bank is going to remain same, but yeah, and another thing, that what is the main thing here? Okay, like that whatever the amount that need to be paid, it is also going to be mentioned. Okay, name of the person is also going to be mentioned, and the demand draft that is payable at which branch, that is also going to be mentioned, right? And sometimes that they're doing transactions with the check, that simple check. Sometimes there are chances of check bounce. Check bounce, that means what? Like suppose I am writing the check to a specific person. Okay, that person is depositing the check into his or her account, right? But due to insufficient balance in my bank account, what is going to happen? The check is going to bounce. The check will be rejected, and that term is known as check bounce. Okay, right? But here in demand draft, the question is not there, because bank, they are going to demand money first to issue the demand draft. Like suppose I want to make a demand draft of 25,000, then sufficient amount that need to be available into my bank account. Then and then only I can apply and I can issue, or I can tell bank, or I can give instructions to the bank to issue the demand draft, right? So here the bounces, that is check bounce or the particular demand draft bounce, that is not going to happen, never. Okay, right? And nowadays, one more thing, that it is not necessary that I need to have that account in the particular bank. Like suppose I am going to make a demand draft from SBI, so it is not compulsory, it is not necessary that I must be having that particular bank account. I can deposit the cash, and I can get the demand draft commission that will be charged, that will be paid in cash also. Okay, getting my point, right? So demand draft, it is one of the safest way of doing a payment. Why? Because the name of the receiver, that is also mentioned, payable at which branch, that is also mentioned, and no bounces are going to occur. Getting my point? Okay, right? See, it's simple, that first bank, they are going to demand the money, and on the basis of the amount, they are going to what? They are going to issue the demand draft. Okay, getting my point, right? Second, banker's check or a pay order. Simple कि भाई yes, banker's check, that is what कि भाई it is similar to the bank draft, that is demand draft, right? But when the city is same, like Navsari, from one branch to another branch of ICICI, okay, so it must be there, it must be like that कि भाई yes, that it can be encased into what, it can be encased into the same branch, that same branch of the bank within the same city, then it is considered as pay order. It is not considered as demand draft. Demand draft is useful in what? Demand draft is useful to do the payment to the other city or other state, right? But when it is encased into the same city, then it is considered as what? It is considered as a banker's check or a pay order. Okay. Then third, real-time gross settlement, RTGS. It is one of the important things that you should learn this thing practically also, right? That one of the latest facility that to transfer the money from one bank account to another bank account, RTGS is going to happen. That is real-time gross settlement, right? You can transfer the money anywhere in India, but what is the main thing here? That both of the bank must be registered and they must be have IFSC code, right? IFSC code, that means it is a one type of that 11-digit alphanumeric code, right, which is the identification of the bank. That yes, if I am entering that particular code, that is IFSC code, into the particular that form of RTGS, then the branch of that bank will be identified. Okay, right? So it is considered as real-time gross settlement. Why it is considered as real-time gross settlement? Because the money will be transferred at the same time, right? I just need to fill up the form, IFSC code that need to be mentioned, name of the account holder that need to be mentioned, amount that is also going to be mentioned, right? Here no cash transactions are being done into RTGS. Money will be transferred from one bank account to another bank account. Okay, right? And this IFSC code that will be issued or that will be generated by the IDRBT, that is Institute Development and Research on Banking Technology, Hyderabad, right? And you can transfer money through RTGS in anywhere, that is any part of India, right? And as I said, the transactions of this cash transactions is not there, right? So must be that compulsion is what, that yes, both the person, those who are engaging into the particular this, the exchange of money, they must be have what? They must be having the particular bank account, that those who are registered and those who have this IFSC code. Okay, right? And another minimum requirement is there, that amount of rupees 2 lakh, minimum 2 lakh and maximum there is no limit, right? For RTGS, if you want to do RTGS, you need to have the transaction of rupees 2 lakh. Then and then only you can do this RTGS. Okay, right? And again, some sort of commission, that is the obviously bank, they are going to provide the service. So obviously they are going to what? They are going to charge some sort of a commission. That is the income of the bank, right? You are consuming the service of a bank. So obviously you need to pay some sort of commission as a sender of the money. Nothing will be charged or no commission will be charged from the receiver, right? Receiver is not going to have any kind of cost or any kind of interest, that commission or they need to pay. Okay, sender of the money, it will be charged from his or her account directly, no cash transactions. Okay, right? So for doing RTGS, what is the main thing? That yes, minimum of 2 lakh rupees that is required. Okay, second, both the parties, that is whoever they are exchanging, that the two banks, they must be having what? They must be having IFSC code provided by IDRBT. Okay, clear? Then third, that is National Electronic Fund Transfer, that is NEFT. Okay, again same, just same like RTGS, right? But here some that minimum requirement that are being changed. Okay, right? Maximum you can exchange or you can transfer 2 lakh of rupees through NEFT, right? And it is a one kind of that online system, and it will be done page wise, like that in a single page you can in a single transaction you can put up the 10 entries, that's it, right? And it is considered as DNS, that is different net settlement. Okay, right? In RTGS we have seen that minimum amount, that is rupees 2 lakh, that is going to require, but here maximum 2 lakh, minimum there is no requirement, right? You can You can do the NEFT of rupees 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, anything. But max to max, you can what? You can transfer through the NEFT or NEFT, that is 2 lakh rupees maximum, right? And yeah, one more thing. The money, it can be transferred within the same day, or it can take up to the 48 hours. Why? Because as I said, it is what it is, the transactions that will be done through batches, the different batches that has been there by the bank, right? Like entry time, like that 12 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, right? And money, it can be transferred on the same day. Like today I'm transferring through NEFT, it can be credited into the particular the receiver's account on the same day, that is on as of today, or it can be transferred within the 48 hours, right? And here the NEFT or NEFT, it can be done in cash, but it is 50, maximum limit is 50,000. See, from one bank to another bank account, that will be 2 lakh rupees, that is the maximum requirement. And here by cash, maximum 50,000 that can be done. Okay, I can walk in any kind of bank, like suppose I want to do the NEFT through SBI, right? I'm entering into any branch of SBI, I'm telling them, okay, I want to do NEFT, but I don't have any kind of account, no savings account, no current account, nothing, right? But I can send the money through NEFT by cash up to 50,000, right? That is as a walk-in customer for the bank. Okay, right? Then fifth, that is bank overdraft, that I have already explained into the that main functions of the bank, that they are going to provide the overdraft facility to whom? To the current account holders, right? Current account that can be opened by the businessman or in the name of the company, in the name of the business, right? And what is the bank overdraft facility? That is, the person or the account holder can withdraw the money, more than that available into the bank account. Like suppose I am a businessman, I am having an amount of 50,000 balance, right? But I want to do the payment of 60,000. Then 10,000 of overdraft facility that will be given by the bank to the businessman. See, this facility is only available into the current account, not in savings account. Okay, overdraft facility is only available for the current account holders, like for businessmen, for the particular business enterprise or business unit who are doing a transactions in lakhs of rupees for a single day. Okay, right? And interest need to be paid on it. See, for every service, whatever you are consuming from the bank, you need to pay some sort of interest, some sort of commission for utilizing the services provided by the bank, right? And yes, maximum amount that will be sanctioned for the businessmen, so that they can do the payment easily. Okay, right? Then next, cash credit. It is the one of the form of a overdraft, but cash credit that is given to the businessman for the growth and the development of their business, right? For the for considering the stock of money into their bank account, that whatever the amount of transactions or that volume of money that they are doing a transactions into the current account, right? But cash credit, for what purpose? The main purpose is what? The main purpose is to give the money for the purpose of what? For the purpose of growth and the development of a business enterprise or a business unit, right? Here the duration is fixed, interest that is also prefixed, right? And that amount of interest need to be paid with the amount that is principal amount to the bank. Okay, and seventh and important one, that is loan, that is considered, that we have already learned into the main functions of the bank, that whatever the services that has been provided by the bank, right? Loan, it can be for a short term, okay, up to 1 year. It can be for a medium term, like up to 3 years, and it can be for a long term, for like 5 years or more than 5 years, right? That businessman or an individual person, they are in a requirement of a loan. Like suppose I want to purchase a bike, I want to purchase a car, so I can have a facility of loan. Even educational loan, they are also going to be there, that is also provided by the bank. Home loan, personal loan is also there, right? Now depending upon the particular that the requirement of a customer, like buying a furniture, renovation of the house, buying a vehicle, or the development of the business, or whatever the things, right? Like those who are not the customer of the bank, particularly like I'm going into the ICICI bank, I'm not having account with the same branch, but still I will be getting a loan, right? Depending upon what? Depending upon the financial soundness of the person that who is asking for a loan, right? Like I'm going into the particular bank and I'm demanding the loan, so they are not going to give me the loan. They are going to do the particular investigation that yes, this person is financially sound or not, right? That we have seen in the subsidiary functions of the bank. By bank, whatever the financial institution, I'm going to take a loan, they are going to ask the financial proof that I'm a financial sound person, right? So solvency certificate need to be obtained from my bank, and I will be providing that certificate to the bank, to that particular bank from whom I'm going to take a loan, right? On depending upon that solvency certificate, yes, this person is financially sound, he is going to repay the loan at particular time, right? So obviously they are going to give me the loan. But here one of the important thing, they are going to demand guarantee, and guarantee it can be of any kind of, like, that deposits, gold. Like suppose I'm purchasing a house, then my house will be mortgaged with the particular bank, right? If I'm not able to repay it, if I'm a failure, then what is going to happen? Obviously they are going to sell that particular property and they are going to recover the loan, right? That is, mortgage will be there. And one another thing, like suppose I'm purchasing a bike, I'm purchasing a car, so one of the hypothecation will be there, and in that hypothecation the name of the particular bank from whom I'm taking a loan, it will be mentioned. Okay, getting my point, right? And as I said, like the loan, it will be sanctioned on the basis of the property, on the basis of the guarantee that I'm providing, right? Like suppose I'm in a need of a 5 lakh rupees of loan, but I can provide guarantee up to 3 lakh, then my loan will be sanctioned up to only 3 lakh rupees, right? And the guarantee, that is, like suppose I'm putting up my property, and that will be mortgaged with the bank, that will stays with the bank, my original documents, that will stays with the bank, and if I'm not able to repay it, then it will be sold. And if I'm repaying it on time, whatever the amount that has been sanctioned, I'm repaying it fully, and then the bank people or the bank, they are going to return it to me. Okay, getting my point, right? And most often, that bank, they are going to keep that, immovable property of the client for a mortgage, right? Like I'm not going to run anywhere. Okay, right. So obviously the repayment that has been succeeded, repayment that has been done it fully or at the particular, as the conditions are I'm fulfilling the each and every conditions of the bank, then they are going to what? They are going to free the particular property or a guarantee that I have been given. Okay, right. So these are the services of the bank. You go through it. If you have any doubt, let me know. Thank you.